Guys, welcome to the first little side quest slash mission. So I am going to be making a dorm room garden. So I don't really know if many people have done it. I haven't really looked into it much, but this has kind of been an ongoing process. But I want you guys to tag along with me as I expand my garden and make it a little bit better. So yeah, let's get started. So first off, it's a little we're gonna have a little room tour. So first we have our, giant little trees here, also known as corn. These guys have been growing since January. Most of the stuff has been growing since January. And then I got some of my seed starters down here. They're not doing too well, but that's all right. I believe those are my jalapeno peppers. I got different types of flowers down there. Got some onions down there. Some more peppers that aren't doing that great, some basil. Then here's my homemade hydroponic system here. I had an air layer in there, I might just open her up, but this is a beefsteak tomato. So I just used an old ice cream bucket that I found, and as you can see in there, some roots growing. I just took one of these tomato plants that over here out of their dirt, washed the roots off as best I could. Obviously, I didn't do the greatest job, but, it is what it is. And then here is my potato plant. It is flowering currently, so hopefully this will be ready to harvest towards the end of the school year here. And then in there are my cabbages. Other than that, I got one more kind of cool system. When we come over here, it's my regular hydroponic system. So I got some beans growing in here, and then I also have some strawberries, super small. I don't really know what's wrong with this guy. I don't know if it's a nutrient deficiency or, there could be too much salt in the school water, or I don't know. There could be plenty of reasons. I need to kind of look into it. Maybe it could also be a disease, but time will tell. It's not too big a deal right now. As you can see, it's already sitting on some beans, so that's awesome. Maybe get to eat some of those here shortly. Then here's that inside look here for you guys. But yeah, so we are gonna start doing a little transplanting and then planting more seeds. So let's get to it, guys. So we are gonna be starting to do our transplanting here. So first off, we are going to have these beautiful marigolds in the front here. And then I also have some tomatoes back here. Not as beautiful, but I'm going to try to get them out of this, and hopefully they'll start catching up a little bit better. So I made a combination of this Miracle-Gro potting soil and some perlite. And, perlite so it just doesn't get too wet. And this isn't like their permanent home or anything, but I'm also going to be using kind of like, I'm a poor college kid, so obviously I don't have all the money under the sun. I wish I did. So I'm going to be using bottles like these. As you can kind of tell when I was showing you guys my room tour, some of the stuff I was using was just regular old bottles, and this is kind of a showing of like gardening and adventures don't have to be expensive. You can go down the street and probably find a ton of these, and everyone will be thanking you for picking them up, even though you're going to be using them for growing stuff. It just takes a little bit more time. You just have to use the scissors. So I'm going to start transplanting, and yeah, so I'm going to put you guys on time-lapse mode. I can't talk today. Guys, I'm done transplanting here. Here are all of them. I'm actually just gonna leave these guys right here because they're not really doing too hot. And I plan on planting more of that one variety anyway. These have been growing for a while, so I think it's just because I didn't take proper care of them when I needed to. And then I just got back from spring break, so I think that's why a lot of my plants are kind of doing a little poor here, just because I haven't been around to help them out. As you guys can probably tell, I do have a little bit of a mess here, but I think I'm gonna go on to figure out what seeds we're gonna plant those, and then I'm gonna do a little room clean, and then maybe even a little room change, because I'm not gonna lie guys, my room is pretty it's pretty dirty, and I think it just needs to, one, get cleaned, and two, needs to get reorganized so I can, you know, have a better garden space. But yeah, no, I'll get to that. Okay guys, so I figured out where we're gonna plant here. We could have planted a lot of different things, but this is gonna be my little setup here. So honeycomb tomatoes here, super awesome. I'm gonna do 2 of these rows with that. I'm gonna do 2 rows of cabbage, then 1 row of beefsteak tomato, and then 2 rows of the candy stripe white zinnias, then 1 of borage, 1 of these super sweet tomatoes, 2 of these bachelor button flowers, and then 1 final zinnia, but the Aztec orange. Most of these cells I'll be planting anywhere from 1 to 3 seeds in, so especially with the stuff where I'm only doing like 1 row, like the zinnia, I'll probably go 3, and if all 3 of them do germinate, I'll just you know, once I transplant, I can separate them up. And then the mixture is right over here. I had this seed starting mix and just a little bit of perlite. Just Alright guys, so we're done planting for today, transplanting. I'm gonna have to figure out where to put these guys. You know, my room's getting filled up a little bit too much. But if you guys have any questions about any of my, I guess, decor or plants, let me know. I'll try to give you the best answer. As you know, this is a side quest and challenge channel. So if you guys have anything, you know, plant related, let me know. Or if you're like, yo, Trevor, we don't like plants, let me know that as well. You know, I want to try to feed to what you guys want to look at. I do have a couple challenges in my brain that might be coming out here in the next week or two. Just depending on how busy I get with school and whatnot. I will try to make weekly or at least bi-weekly updates on these plants. And, you know, hopefully next time you watch one of these videos, the room won't be this dirty and cluttered. So if you guys have any challenges or anything that you want to see, let me know. I'm willing to do about anything. So yeah, no, have a great rest of your day, and God bless.